Hey.
Even damn Jadis Patterson.
I'm trying to get the live stream set up for us to watch the last episode. It looks like, hey Christine, it looks like we can watch it, right? I just won't get monetized is all, which is fine. Because they block it. Hey Renee. They block it so that I can't make money off of it, which is totally fine. But we can at least watch it together. Whoa. Okay. What are you guys doing? All right, and the new camera that I got, I can literally flip it around so that you can actually see what's on the TV, and I can still read the comments, because before, when we would do this, I wasn't able to actually read the comments while you guys were communicating. I had to like sit down on the ground to see them. Hey Brittany. Hey Sapphire, hey girl. So now I can actually like engage while you guys are watching the show. Hey Kelly, hey Tina, hey Sapphire. Make sure you're liking the live. You guys are awesome. Okay, so what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to watch it through like a bootlegged situation, because it looks like Lifetime makes me have to like sign in it like into a provider, and I don't have like Time Warner Cable or anything like that. Like, hey Crystal, I get my TV from Hulu and Netflix and all that shit. So without a TV provider, it like wouldn't let me access the content. So we're going to have to watch it through a bootlegged situation. But the good news is that I kind of skimmed through that one channel that has it bootlegged, and it looks like they got pretty much the entire episode. But if there's something that wasn't, oh shit, I forgot I recorded it. Duh. I recorded it. I watched it. I'm so glad you're here, Crystal. I watched it earlier. I didn't actually watch it. I was working, but I screen recorded. Hey JJ, I screen recorded it on my phone so that we could watch it. Duh. I'm so glad that I remembered that. Okay. Let me just figure out how to play it on my phone so that it streams to the TV. Hey Jennifer, hey Katie. So that it streams to the TV, because it would be like impossible for me to hold my phone up the entire time for us to watch it like that. So let me figure out how to do this. Okay, I recorded it. We're gonna watch the last episode of Life After a Lockup. Bullshit ass show. Let's see. Yes, I can airplay it. Fuck yeah. Okay, that's awesome. Hey Shannon. You already watched it this morning? I kind of was listening to it while I was screen recording, but I was busy grooming dogs, so I didn't really get a chance to like pay attention to everything. I'll have to pay attention to that, JJ. Yeah, get your charger, Katie. Get your charger. We're gonna hang out and we're gonna watch this bullshit ass shit together. This bullshit ass shit. You hear me? This bullshit ass shit. Hold on, let me schedule this appointment really quick. Yeah, I think that there's probably going to be a season 3 also. Sadly, I do. You know why? Because people want to see the train wreck. People are desperate to see her put her feet in her mouth. Because we love a good train wreck. You know what I'm saying? We love a good train wreck. Everybody, yes, everybody go get your popcorn. I'm not going to eat because y'all be getting pissed off at me whenever I eat. Whenever I eat, y'all be getting pissed off. Like, I can't hear nothing with all those crunching. Hey, onward. So, y'all go get your popcorn and your drinks, your wine, whatever you do. I don't drink, but you do you. What? Okay. Sorry. You got your beer. Make a glass of lemonade because it's been hot. Yeah, it has been here. You got restricted from live till tomorrow for breaking guidelines. Oh, no. I'm sorry about that. Jennifer says I can't drink because I get loud and obnoxious. I don't even remember how I get when I get drunk. It's been that long. I think I get flirty and like annoying and like wanting to be friends with everybody, you know. It's crazy hot here too. Yep, her minions don't like the truth. They will straight argue with you. Even when you have facts trying to show them the truth, they will still argue that what you're telling them is a lie. I think that she's going to milk this gravy train with the reality TV for as long as she possibly can. Like, if she can get 5 seasons out of it, you best believe she's going to do it. Why? Because it's an easy way for her to make money. Then she doesn't have to actually go out here and commit crimes by defrauding people. So of course she's going to allow them to film. But hey Brandy, hey X, the thing about what I'm conflicted the most about is that, hey Tamara, what I'm conflicted the most about is that I feel like I personally feel like Lifetime is trolling her. I feel like Lifetime has known the truth. They've had access to the records. Maybe they didn't dig too deeply into the records at the beginning because you never want to seem like you're invalidating somebody's ABUSE, right? I understand that. And so they probably didn't look too much into it right away whenever they, signed on to do the prison confessions, blah, 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 blah. But now that everything has happened the way that it's happened and so much more information has come out, I think that they know. I think that they know that it's all been a lie and that Gypsy is manipulating them and everyone else into believing this bullshit ass story, and they're waiting for the train to crash. Like, they can see the things that we don't see behind the scenes, like have they asked her, like, what are all the signs about in the house? Have they asked her different questions? We see certain things on the show, right? But there's a lot that they don't show us. And I'm sure that Gypsy has done some very questionable things or said some very questionable things while the producers have been there. How do I know that? Because she can't shut her fucking mouth. She loves to talk about herself. And if you let her continue talking long enough and don't interrupt her, she's going to spill and tell you the truth. You just have to listen. But so many people will like butt in and stop her from talking, and it's like, no, just let her dig her own grave. And I think that that's what they know is going to happen, and they want to be the first ones to have it on film. So I do feel like they would essentially, green light a season 3, because this next season she's going to be off of parole. That's when it's really going to get good. That's when it's going to be good. I mean, we have to remember that this last season she was pregnant. The season before that, she was just getting out of prison and, was with Ryan for several months and then left him, went back to Ken, and immediately got pregnant. The episode of her getting pregnant was the very last episode of that first season. So the entire second season was all about her pregnancy. This next season is going to be all about her being off of parole, following her around. What is she doing from day to day? How is she spending her time? And I think that they're waiting for her to do something stupid and incriminating so that they can get it on film. And I would do the same thing. I'm not going to have anybody in the box. Not tonight, because we're going to be watching this show, and I don't want I want to make sure that people are able to listen to my opinion and my commentary on the show. Yep, if you want to keep them, you trap them. However, you don't necessarily trap the man into the relationship. You do trap them into you do trap them into, being connected to you for 18 years if that man wants to have a relationship with his child. If he doesn't want to have a relationship with his child, they're going to go bye-bye. I mean, it's just that simple. Men do not give a shit. If they don't want to be with you, they're not going to be with you. A baby is not going to make a man stay. It never has, and it never will. It just doesn't. That's what I think intuitively, Tarot. I think the same thing. Brianna, thank you for sharing. Hey, Andina. Well, apparently the DNA shows that it's Ken's. Yes, I do think that she will continue to talk to Ryan behind Ken's back. I believe that the minute Ken stops giving her any attention on this episode, Hannah, I believe the minute Ken stops giving her the attention that she wants, she's going to run right back to Ryan, because she needs to feel loved, adored, appreciated, all those things. Like, she needs it. She craves it. She's so codependent that she does not know how to be an individual. Lala, no, I'm not letting anybody in the box tonight, because I'm going to do commentary on this episode and I want it to just be me. And Ryan gives her the emotional satisfaction that she needs. Christine, yeah, I can do a little bit about myself and the things that I've been through. That's going to be incredibly tough to do, but I can do it. Yeah. I guess the biggest, like, for me, it's hard for me to figure out like where to start because there's so much that I've been through that started, pretty much when I was born. So it like, I don't know if I go from now to the past or if I start from when I was a baby. Most people don't. There's a lot. There's a lot. I've been through a lot of trauma. I saw that, Patience. I'm gonna watch that probably tomorrow. That's what somebody else said too, Tamara, that she loves Ken's looks. I don't even think Ken is that good looking, but I mean, I guess for Gypsy, he's a catch. I do not think Ken is really going to propose to her, not after everything that's happened. Is there going to be another episode next week? I thought that this was the last one. Is there going to be another one? I thought that this episode was it. Yeah, for her, he's a prize. Yeah, I totally get that. Desiree, thank you for the follow. Oh, excuse me. Okay. I have my doubts about Ryan as well. The sad thing is that he really cared about her. He really cared about Gypsy. He spent a lot of time with her on the phone, and he really loved her for who she was. Like, he didn't give a shit about the TV cameras, about the money, about anything. He loved Gypsy for Gypsy. Don't ask me why. But he definitely cared more about her, thank you, Onward, than she ever cared about him. I truly don't even believe that Gypsy cares about Ken. I think it's more of projecting a certain image, and that's the reason why she's wanted Ken so long. I don't think that it's because she actually loves him. I don't think that Gypsy's aware and self-aware enough to know how to love anyone. Yeah, she's a character for him and he's a character for her. Like, she does find him attractive. And I think that that's why she wanted him in the show, because he's more visually appealing than Ryan is, you know? Not saying that Ryan is ugly, but Ryan is a different look, you know? And Ken is more, he is more physically appealing to the public than Ryan was. Gypsy was very, like, you could tell that she was very embarrassed to be with Ryan because everybody was talking shit about Ryan when they first got out, saying, "Oh, you can do better than him. He looks like your mom. That's weird. You're dating your brother, blah 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 blah." Like, they were saying a lot of negative things about Ryan. And I think that Gypsy really took that to heart and was like, I need somebody who looks better so that they'll shut up. And that's the reason why, Ken is around. Patience, I'm not sure. I know that they met at a convention, um, a convention for Vision Con. That could have been in Springfield, it could have been in Aurora. She actually did break Ryan's heart. And he does have low self-esteem. Obviously, he does. No man with any self-confidence, self-esteem, self-respect would ever date a murderer. Let's just be serious. No man with any self-respect, dignity, integrity would be dating a murderer. That looks like 12. That looks like she's 12 years old. I think she wanted to prove that she could get Ken back. Yeah, because he was the one that got away. So getting him to come back was a challenge for her. And I think that Gypsy enjoys a challenge. She does act like she's 12. And that's why so many 12, 13, 15, 16, 17, 18-year-old girls look up to her. And that's what's scary, because she's a fucking murderer. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start. I'm going to flip you around. Okay. I'm still looking at the at the comments. Let me know if the TV is positioned in a good spot. Okay, let me turn the volume on.
There you go. Nice. Perfect.
Y'all, I love watching Lucky Dog. It's my favorite show.
Recognize the signs and provide comfort when he's needed. There you go. Coming up.
It's time to take it to the next level.
Earlier more was.
Okay. Is everybody ready?
Too close for comfort.
Through the duration of my parole, I can't live with Ken unless we're married. I had been hit with the question, how are you going to tell your daughter?
Let me know if the volume needs to be turned up or anything like that.
Figure it out all on my own. Ken is here physically and gone emotionally. I had a conversation
Thank you,
with Ryan.
Lisa.
I have lunch.
I don't think it's a good idea. This is the first picture Gypsy sent me of Aurora. I was kind of like, might be mine. You know, as far as she sent me a glamour shot before.
I'm afraid that if the paternity is resolved, the communication will stop.
Well, of course.
Let me close my door so my daughter doesn't get mad.
Yesterday, Ryan and I had a conversation on the phone for the first time in 6 months. It went really well. It really was simple. The way we bantered, it really felt like a friendship. And of course, we talked business for post-divorce and paternity stuff. You know, I was really.
It's hard to see.
I feel like you're a lawyer. And
hold on. Let me see if I can. I don't know if it'd be better. If I did that. And let me try to move you guys closer. Because I can't zoom in on that camera. Let me know if this is better.
This whole situation up. We agreed to meet each other at the same place at the same time, and it just be me, him, and Laura. And we can take the test, we can talk, and have a nice interaction. Ken was at work last night, but I did text him. I told him everything
is that a thing?
communicated.
Hold on, you guys.
And Ryan and his lawyer.
I can pause it and I can restart it back up. Thank you for all your suggestions. Let me try to go to landscape mode, and if nothing else, I will just buy the stupid episode so that we can watch it. Like, it's not that big of a deal. Oh, hold on. Somebody suggested landscape mode, so let me try that first, and then if I can't get it that way, then I'll just buy the episode. Can I fit to screen? Well, I'm airplaying it from what I screen recorded from my phone, and what they did was, it was just like, no, I don't think I can. I don't think I can switch it to landscape mode. It doesn't give me that option. Let me try to edit it and make it sideways and see if that will help. I think that would be it. Hold on. Nope. Nope. That's not going to do it. Oh my gosh, Shauna, that would be lovely. Would you feel comfortable with that? I would not want you to do anything that you're uncomfortable with, but because I don't have like a regular cable provider, it won't let me log in. I tried to turn my phone on its side and that didn't help because it's airplaying and I screen recorded it. Okay, thank you, Shauna. It's okay, you guys. We're figuring it out. We're getting it. We're getting it. Right now, no, my screen lock isn't on. I'm gonna mute this because it'll be really loud. Yeah, that was really kind of her. And we're just going to give her a minute to send the information. I didn't know where else to watch it on other than on Lifetime without having to pay for it again. Yeah, somebody said, who was it? Naomi. And it's hard to know if Naomi is being honest or if she's just, trying to say stuff to get the views. So I'm always really skeptical of other people saying things like that, because I never know if it's actually legit or if they're saying it to, to get the views. Paula, we're trying to wait until somebody sends me their login information so that I can log into their Lifetime thing because I don't have access. So like, I have Hulu, but you have to have Hulu Live in order to be able to log in and see it. And I don't have Hulu Live. Yeah, that's why Hulu doesn't have the new episodes. Not yet, anyway. And I thought that I had I didn't know that there was going to be another episode this week, and I canceled my Philo subscription not knowing that there was going to be another episode. Otherwise, I wouldn't have canceled, and in order to like restart it, they wanted me to pay the $30. So it would be cheaper for me to just buy the season off of YouTube. Thank you, Shauna. You're so sweet. You sent it on TikTok? I don't see it. Oh my God, it's starting to rain. Like you can hear it. How are you able to watch it on your phone? It won't let me log in at all. Oh, hold on. It'll let me play the last episode. Y'all, I am silly. I didn't scroll all the way down, and it looks like it's going to let me play the last episode. I don't need to log in for that. I'm so glad that you just said that. Yes, Brandon McMillan. Yeah, he's a dog trainer. I love watching this. Me and my dog will sit here and watch dog training videos all day long. And I don't have any issues watching dog training videos because everything I learn, I apply to training my own dog. And watching him is how I actually trained my own dog. Like I trained my own dog using all the methods that he shows on this. This dog show is called Lucky Dog, and it's all about dog training. I love it. I can just sit here and watch it all day long. Go to settings on this phone and check local network. Okay, hold on. I guess I have to go into. Thank you all for being so patient and waiting with me. Local network. Thank you, Shauna. I'm trying to figure out how to stream it. This is the Lucky Dog channel. That's literally what it's called. I have it on my Samsung TV, and that's all this channel plays is Lucky Dog. I don't know if you have a Samsung TV or not, but I do. And this is it. This is the channel. There's another channel that is only specifically for Caesar Milan. I don't have it on the TV. Let me see if I can download it, because it's like not wanting to connect to my TV. I've got it playing on my phone, but it's not wanting to connect to the TV. See, this is the Lucky Dog channel. That's just what it's called. How do I should have figured all this out before. Caesar Milan did? I need to figure, there we go. I need to figure out how to download the Lifetime app on here. Because if I can download the app, then we should be good. No, this is not showing me any apps. Oh, dang it. Let's see what this does. Oh.
EL fudge cookies, deliciously the same. No. Fudge on a biscuit. That looks delicious. Introducing our new EL fudge.
Thank you for bearing with me through the technical difficulties.
Diagnosis pushed me to reflect, reframe, and reach out for support. Check out my 3-step guide at reframingms.com.
Thank you, Shauna.
Whatever it was. You do the math. I mean, it's too close for comfort.
Are y'all good to watch it like that?
I can't live with Ken unless
The double-sided
we're
screen?
married. I had been hit with the question, how are you going to tell your daughter?
Because I don't think I can zoom.
I just feel like I've been trying to figure it out all on my own.
Yay!
So physically, I've gone emotional. I had
Kimber,
a conversation
here.
with Ryan. We might have lunch.
I don't think it's around here. This is the first picture Gypsy sent me of Aurora, and I was kind of like, might be mine. It was funny as she sent me a glamour shot before.
I'm afraid that if the paternity is resolved, the communication will stop.
Well, of course.
I don't think I can. Let me see. Hold on. Where would I expand it from? Since
Yesterday,
this is
Ryan
like.
and I had a conversation on the phone for the first time in 6 months. It went really well. It really was simple. The way we bantered, it really felt like a friendship. And of course, we talked business for post-divorce.
I don't think I can. In the settings?
You know, I was real with him. I'm like, I
Hold on, let
feel
me pause
like you're
it.
a lawyer and you are holding this whole situation up. We agreed to meet each other at the same place.
In the YouTube settings? Because that's what it pulled up. Yeah, I'm conflicted on the test. I feel like Ryan had every right to ask for the test after the birth, and I feel like Gypsy was trying to manipulate him with the test that she took before giving birth. And I think that Ryan wanted to show Gypsy that, hey, you can't go around what the law states. And the law states that you have to wait until the baby is born. And then there's a paternity test established. Gypsy was trying to go around that law. Kimber, come here. No, the app wouldn't work. It wasn't working. That's why I just came here.
And you are holding this whole situation up. We agreed to meet each other at the same place at the same time, and it just be me, him, and Laura. And we can take the test, we could talk, and have a nice interaction. Ken was at work last night, but I did text him. I told him everything that was communicated, and Ryan and his lawyer could have accepted the test that's already been taken, but Ryan does not want to acknowledge it. So if they need this, then I'm going to give it to them.
And I agree with that. Like, I agree that Ryan should have had the option to be there to take the test, because we know how sneaky and manipulative that Gypsy is. And I don't blame him one bit for not trusting her. I don't. Shauna, it's just not letting me airplay from Lifetime to my TV. It's saying that I don't have any devices available, no network settings, blah 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 blah. So it's something with the Lifetime app specifically that's not working.
Gypsy's been gone all week, and my little Aurora hasn't been home. And it definitely feels a lot more depressing around the house. Like, I feel like I have no purpose during the daytime before I go to work. I'm just kind of finding things to occupy my time. It's very lonely.
So Gypsy called you. What was the conversation?
She didn't call me about anything. She texted me.
Oh, he seemed kind of pissed off right there. He said she didn't call me about anything. She texted me, like he was annoyed.
And he just told me, hey, we're doing another paternity test. We don't know when, but, you know, it's going to happen sometime this week or next. And then, yeah. Well, Ryan's going to be driving down to do paternity tests because he can't accept the one that we've already done.
And I think, so I understand that Ken is upset that Ryan isn't accepting the test that's already been done. But Ken and Gypsy both knew that it was a risk taking the test prior to the birth, because Ryan did not have to submit to that test and those test results. The law is the law, and both of them were trying to evade the law and get him to sign over his rights before he knew and was able to take a test for himself. Yes, Ken was tested and Gypsy was tested, but Ryan is the one that is married to Gypsy, or was married to Gypsy. So Ryan is well within his legal right to say, no, I'm not going to accept that test. I want to do things the right legal way and wait until after the baby is born. And I think that Ken being pissed off about that just shows how immature he is, because a mature, responsible adult would not try to eliminate, the law. The law is the law. Even the attorney said, like, she was trying to thwart the law and go around that.
Tested, even though it's all there, black and white, clear as crystal. You don't have to be. He doesn't have to be tested for it to be done. And I guess denial is a crazy thing.
Yeah, Ken is so rude.
Whatever, So.
It's denial is a crazy thing. Yeah, you're in denial right now with Gypsy when she's fucking cheating on you. Like, she's cheating on you, and you want to talk about Ryan being in denial.
A lot to talk about. There's a lot of loose ends right now. This is
Thank you, Brittany. A mature adult would not have slept with a married woman. And a married woman would not have slept with another man that was not her husband and gotten pregnant by another dude. Like that, let's just keep it all the way real. Gypsy created this situation, and now everybody's pissed off because they're not getting their way. But this is the situation that Gypsy created. Ryan does not have to bend over and do whatever the fuck Gypsy wants him to do. Like, get over yourself.
I don't think I'm gonna let that happen. It's just the fact that we're dragging Aurora through the mud on this when she doesn't need to be.
And I agree, Aurora does not need to be.
Process and just keep stretching this out longer and longer and longer. You go do what you need to do, but you're not bringing my daughter in this mess. Aurora's not gonna be there. If Gypsy wants her to go off and do it, that's fine. I could bring in Aurora. She can give her a sample at a different time. There's no need for her to be there in the mix of that. So I'm not going to involve her in that mix if I can do something about it.
But the thing is that Ryan had already agreed that Aurora wasn't his. Ryan had already said online that he didn't think the baby was his, blah, 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 especially after getting that paternity test. Gypsy was the one who was reaching out to Ryan, sending him pictures of the baby, making him think that the baby was his. So she manipulated Ryan into thinking that the baby was his, so that he would get all up in arms about, no, I want to take this test. I'm not signing anything, blah, 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 blah. So that both of them would be upset and fighting over this situation. She created it. Yeah, she told him that there was a chance. And Ryan will come out, and I believe he will eventually speak out. It might take a few more months for him to feel comfortable, but I do think he will speak out. Oh my gosh, Indigo, yes. I saw that too.
This is a new car.
It is. I hope it's not too big for you.
It's a little different.
You're going to sign and print. And this is to do your own skills test.
Today I am taking the final test.
No,
for my
I didn't
driver's
see that,
education.
Mary.
How are you feeling?
Nervous. I mean, I always kind of doubt myself and second guess myself. Just like whenever I was taking the JV test while I was in prison, I'm always like, can I do this? It's almost like I'm mind warping myself into doubting myself.
Okay, we're going to reverse. We're going to go to the highway.
All right.
Put your foot on your brake always to change.
Okay, that was not the brake.
That's why it was a change. Okay.
I think it's a big step for independence on her, where she can, feel like she's grown and she's doing her own thing. She can take on whatever comes her way.
Or I think it's great that she's getting her license. However, she got her fucking license and she's not even driving. She's still taking Ubers everywhere. Like, why are you not using the car that you bought and the license that you worked so hard to get? Why are you not using it? You know why? because she can't see. She can't see for shit. And her chromosome deletion impairs her cognitive and her memory.
She made it on the driveway. That's good.
So what we do is we're gonna drive all the way to Ultimatum. We'll come back like we did last time, and we'll see the bridges. And when we get to Lalu, we're gonna hit that back road.
I wouldn't trust her either.
I want to be able to drive and be more independent, so I can be there for Aurora, but I can also go and drive myself and have a life as well. I can't allow myself to not have my own identity. I feel like, that's where my mom screwed up. I was her whole life, her whole existence.
Bitch, you were her whole life because you were a sick fucking kid and she had no help. You're so ungrateful. You pissed me off.
And she didn't have an identity for herself.
We're gonna go straight.
I'm finding that spot and that space where I'm still growing as an individual, and while also being a good mom to my daughter.
We're gonna go over the pass.
Okay.
We're gonna go ahead and do
Sapphire, yeah, because it's a lot to remember.
Braking. We'll go straight to the caution light. If we have yellow, you cross street has red. Very good on your lane control, and you're following distance. We'll take a right in the light when that's it. And we will take a left.
Hey, Holiday.
The Wagoneer. Keep going.
Thank you for the follow.
Stop. All right, Miss Josie, ready? All right, Miss Gypsy, I don't want you to get discouraged because not many people passed the first time.
Okay.
But you did. Your score was a 90.
That just goes to show any idiot can get a driver's
Okay.
license.
Just remember, light post till you turn.
I passed. I did it. I was so scared.
It's gonna flash now.
Thank you
You're
so
welcome. And let's
much.
win your future. One more hug.
Thank you so much.
All right, sweetie.
I'm pretty sure my whole face was just like staring at the road, like, please remember everything all at once. I'm just happy that I got to this milestone. I'm okay with making these milestones.
You see how she walked? Hold on, I'm going to rewind that for a second. Pay attention to how she walks.
Thank you so
All
much.
right, sweetie.
I'm pretty
That's
sure
that
my whole
odd
face was just,
gait
like,
that her
staring at
chromosome
the road,
deletion causes.
Please remember everything all at once. I'm just happy that I got to this milestone. I'm okay with making these milestones at 33.
You in contact with her?
Yes.
Why?
Ryan's ultimatum to me was either meet with me or she stays in Anderson forever.
I'm not gonna let him use my kid as a chess piece.
Ken gave me an ultimatum that if I was going to meet with Ryan, that our relationship would be in jeopardy.
I'll get you jarred for my kid, that's for sure.
I honestly did not believe that Ryan would say, meet with me or she stays in Anderson forever. But I have to assume that there was a reason for him to say that. Yeah, I saw that too, Megan.
I had plans to go with Aurora.
Did you see that? I'm sorry. If you get annoyed with all the pauses, I'm sorry. When she was feeding the baby, she looked irritated. Watch.
With Ryan at a lab where we can all give our results at the same place at the same time. But Ken had high reservations against it and gave me an ultimatum that if I was going to meet with Ryan, that our relationship would be in jeopardy. And I think in the moment, high emotions took hold, and he said some things that he regrets. Like saying he would move back to Texas and file for custody of Aurora.
What makes you think he regrets that? Look at her face. Look at her face while she's holding the baby.
That really put me in a corner. risk losing my family just to, meet with Ryan face to face whenever there could be other ways of giving her samples. I would have liked to have a moment to ourselves.
It almost
to
looks
where
like
we
she'd rather be doing anything but feeding that child. Isn't it obvious that she does not want to be taking care of that baby? Like, you can see it in her face.
I've had this sort of closure moment.
Like, she's constantly looking around. She's not really looking at the baby. She's not smiling at the baby.
Positive terms. I still kind of feel like the way things ended, there's no way to kind of make it better.
So even here, she's saying that she wants to meet with Ryan. Why is she so desperate to meet with Ryan? She even says later in the episode that Ryan wanted to see her. No, throughout this whole entire episode, it's been Gypsy wanting to see Ryan.
But I really have to weigh my options. Am I going to have this friendly moment with Ryan, or am I going to have the family that I have created for myself? And I'm just not going to risk losing that family.
Yeah, sure. We'll see what happens when you get bored again. Indigo, I don't think that she understands. So what a lot of people don't seem to remember is that her medical records showed that Gypsy had a very clear and significant mental handicap. I don't want to say the R word, but she's not all there intellectually and mentally. And she has a significant disability in her. She has a significant disability, and I'm trying to say this in the nicest way possible, but she does not think and act like most 33-year-old adults. I think she's still stuck in like a 13, 14-year-old mindset. Her mother was not lying when she said that Gypsy was mentally disabled and that she would always have, this younger mentality mindset.
Compassionate person in the situation. I totally am very self-aware of that. But I wouldn't be saying this or feeling this way at all if the paternity test hasn't already been done. We already have it in our hands. It's been done by a credible laboratory.
See how he's talking to her, how he's excited to spend time with her. You never see Gypsy doing any of that. Never. You never see her doing that.
I think that most of my reactions just stem from me just wanting to keep Aurora safe from all of this unnecessary drama and protecting Gypsy's emotional state from this as well. I see the best version of Gypsy when she's moving forward, then have to keep looking back and keep muddying up the waters that don't need to be muddied.
Indigo, I knew you were being rhetoric, but for those that didn't know, I wanted to answer the question. I really appreciate people who have like thought-provoking questions, because that helps, to gain a little bit of clarity and actually explain, logically and through the thought process.
All right, baby, I gotta work. Sorry we couldn't spend more time together, but this weekend's gonna be crazy.
She's not very giving at all. She's just not a giving person in any way. She's very take. No, I know you're very intelligent, Indigo. You're a very smart person. Not like Gypsy's little minions who have absolutely no brain cells at all. Most of us are able to, comprehend and think logically. She infuriates me. She pisses me off. What makes me what really makes me upset is the fact that people believe her lies. That's what upsets me the most, because her lying to everybody about this ABUSE that we all know didn't happen, because there's just there would just be so many other signs if she was actually ABUSED, and there's not. I mean, most kids who are ABUSED, they don't smile in their photos, and I've never seen a picture of Gypsy like not smiling ear to ear. And when you are going through ABUSE, during those years when you are going through it, you barely have a smile on your face. You have a look in your eyes that is just like sad and depressed, and you just have a look about you. And she never had any of those looks.
Whoa!
Hotshot ant, roach, and spider killer keeps killing for up to 3 months at a fraction of the price versus the leading brands.
There are days I feel stuck in my head, even on an antidepressant. Lingering depression.
I can't wait for me to go home tonight.
She's a terrible person. She really is.
I'm saying that you can't wait here for me.
Hold on. Did you see? Hold on. Wait.
Sorry we couldn't spend more time together, but this weekend's gonna be crazy for me. Love you. I can't wait for me to go home tonight.
You hear that? She says, I'm going to be in cutoff, so why does it matter? That's her response. I'm going to be in cutoff, so what does it matter? She's being a fucking bitch.
I'm saying that you can't wait here for me. All right.
Cutoff is the town that her dad lives in. She was being kind of a smart ass to him right there.
I'm going back home today, and I won't see Ken for a while again.
How's that been?
Rough.
She looks like she's gonna cry.
Everything is day by day right now, so we're just winging it. It's hard to kind of keep up a relationship whenever you're living in 2 separate places, and you've got schedules that interfere. And
This right here, that look when she said you've got schedules that interfere, she does not like that he works. She does not like that he has a job and he's not there at the house with her 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
I think I'm very clear about what my needs are. I want cuddles, I want snuggles, I want words of affirmation. For Ken,
What are all those pills? Did you see that? Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Did you see all those pills? I didn't notice that before.
To kind of keep up a relationship whenever you're living in 2 separate places, and you've got schedules that interfere. And
Jody, I think he works at a
I think I'm
kitchen.
very clear about what my needs are. I want cuddles, I want snuggles, I want words of affirmation.
Aren't those pills? Is that like, am I going crazy? Is that medicine in a pill bottle? It looks like it, right? It looks like medication.
For Ken, it's like he doesn't think about anything like that. I don't get it.
Look at Lifetime throwing some shade.
Okay, you say you
There-
love me, but you don't show it. I feel like more distant than ever. He thought everything was going great. But then when you get down to like the nitty gritty, it's kind of like, okay, then stop fooling yourself. Like, is it gone for you? He's like, like the spark, the flame, the energy. You know what I'm saying? So
He doesn't like her. He does not like her at all.
A lot of things has drained us. We need to have more communication. And I think that like we both just need to like open up more about realistic expectations of each other. We could do a court order to establish paternity. I want to know.
Yeah, he doesn't like her at all.
Does he have a right to her or not?
You know, I still care about her. She still cares about me.
It's obviously different when you are like pen paling with somebody and you're writing to them over the phone. Hey, Ariel. When you're writing to them and you're talking to them over the phone, it's a completely different thing when you are spending time with this person day in and day out, trying to get to know them. And when you're spending time with them, the person that they're portraying themselves to be now in real life is not the person that they portrayed themselves to be through the letters and through the phone calls. And I don't think that he actually knew what he was getting himself into whenever he signed up to be on the show. I think he thought like, oh, we'll hang out, we'll have a good time, blah, 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 whatever. Just have a good time. I don't think he intended for her to get pregnant and for all of this to happen. And I think he's incredibly resentful. And I would be too. Like, I would be so upset if after 1 month of us being together, you're already telling me that you're pregnant. Like, I would be very, very upset. It would be hard for me to trust that person. It would be very hard for me to want to be emotionally connected to them. It would also be very hard for me to want to be sexually intimate with them. And we hear her say, I don't know if it was this episode or in another episode, that they have not been intimate in, a very long time. I think it was the episode where her and Bree went to go get the sex toys. And she said that it had been a while since they were intimate with each other. And I believe that the reason why he's not intimate with her is because he's resentful. And when you give yourself to somebody sexually, you're also transferring energy. And he probably can tell that she's an emotional vampire and sucks the energy out of everyone.
She still flirts.
Well, she can't help it. I don't think.
You think that's healthy for you?
Just have the empty.
Shut up, Jacqueline. Are you serious?
I texted Ryan and I was like, I can't.
You talking about all the text messages? Because I highly doubt she sent the ones that she sent to him. She probably only sent his messages. What a bitch. Yeah, she does a lot of triangulation.
With you, I'm sorry. This is where we're at with it. Ken doesn't feel comfortable, and he has that right, seeing as how he is her father. And he just kind of blew up on me.
So what was his ultimatum to you?
Ryan's ultimatum to me was either meet with me or she stays in Anderson forever.
Okay, hold on. Let me just read to you really quickly what Indigo wrote. She wrote, Gypsy told Ryan, it'll be me and you. Ken's keeping Aurora. She told her parents, it'll be just me and Ryan. I'm having lunch with him and working on friendship. Then she told Ken, Ryan's fighting me on this. I have to appease him. And this is her way of triangulating pretty much every relationship that she is in.
He feels like that was a power play card, like that's a trump card. that Ken is the father, the biological father, but he's the father on the, Ryan's the father on the birth certificate. That he has legal rights to Aurora, and he's playing that card, and that leaves me in a position to kind of wonder, what are his rights?
What are his rights legally? Okay, Steph, that's a really good question. How could he still be the father legally? Well, legally, just because him and Gypsy are divorced, because the baby was born after they got divorced, even though the baby was born after they got divorced, Ryan's name was still on the birth certificate. Legally, with his name being on the birth certificate, that makes him the legal father. Does he have actual rights to the child? No, because in every law, the mother presumes the primary right to the child until rights are established for the father. Fathers have absolutely no rights to any child unless they are married, right? And then they have rights to that child. But most fathers have no rights to a child until they establish rights for that child. And even when you go through like divorce proceedings, which they had gone through, she has to prove that Ryan is not the father in order for him to be legally separated from the child and no longer have the ability to say, I want custody of this child. I hope that explains.
After a string of texts that made me uncomfortable and I was trying to defuse the situation, I said, okay, I am not going to be texting you anymore. And I feel like if I would, it would just make the situation worse. So I did call my lawyer right away. And I was like, I want to know the situation we're in. Does he have a right to her or not? And it turns out he doesn't. He may be the father on the birth certificate, but that doesn't mean he has parental rights. She gave me the advice of, we could do a court order to establish paternity. And I said, yes, can we please do that? A test will be taken, a hearing will be had, and the court will observe the test and then go from there. And I guess it's wrapped after that. Paternity is established.
She is so mad at Ryan. Why would you do this? Why is it TMZ's business that Ryan sent? So TMZ says Gypsy Rose Blanchard ex Ryan throws homophobic slur at Ken Urker in heated text exchange. Check out the screenshot. Ryan appears to accuse the ex-convict of doxing his number, and he receives a response from Ken rather than Gypsy, which sets him off. He allegedly uses vivid vocabulary to attack Ken, calling him a maggot-ass itch, and more in response. Ken simply writes, block. Why did she think that this was necessary to be public information? She's continuing to try to hurt Ryan over and over and over and over again, and I don't understand what her motive to continue to do this is. To show Ken that she doesn't care about Ryan anymore? Like, is that it? Is she trying to prove to Ken that she doesn't care about Ryan, doesn't want to see Ryan? And, oh yeah, there's absolutely more texts. And Ryan does play into him because he cares about Gypsy. He needs to stop caring about her and see that she's a POS and just let her go.
She planned for today gonna go.
I think legitimately Ryan has a right to be upset if somebody is texting Ryan and they've said, you know, Gypsy gave me your phone number. Obviously, whoever texted him must have said something about Gypsy. Otherwise, why would he have assumed that she gave out his number?
To my lawyer's office, and Ken has to file to attorney. Hers is taking alcohol.
Hold on.
And I paid the fee. Now I asked if that fee included another test or if that's extra, and her explanation was it can be included depending on how much trouble Ryan gives us.
Which, as we've seen,
Lay down.
will be a lot, I'm sure.
He's just a dick right now. He's being a dick. Yeah. Showing his true colors. He has been for a while, though.
Yeah, I'm not going to let him use
She's trying to make everybody hate Ryan.
Nope.
It's obvious that she's trying to make everyone hate him.
Ryan reacted the way he did, and it's because he wanted to see me, because he still loves me.
I love you.
Oh, he wants to see you, except I haven't heard Ryan say once, I want to see Gypsy. I want to have closure with Gypsy. This whole episode, plus the episode prior, it's been Gypsy wanting to see Ryan. For 3 fucking episodes, it's been Gypsy wanting to see Ryan.
Saw the person underneath the emotions, the past, but at this point in time, we cannot be friends. If the roles were in reverse, how would I feel if Ken was talking to an ex?
Yet you're still saying you want to be friendly with him.
Complete denial of the situation.
I got bail money.
Huh?
I got bail money. I got you
Catch a charge for my kid, that's for sure.
Oh, me too. I catch a charge. You know.
So we're not going to deal with this. We're not going to.
You'll catch a charge. Christy's old ass. Like, how you sound, I'm going to catch a charge when you're like 60 years old. Girl, you're an old lady. What you doing trying to fight somebody?
And
Go sit down and knit
something.
something.
Like adults, and you can have like a baby all you want. So I don't care.
Yeah. Because yesterday I felt like I was
Oh,
in the middle. And
yes, that makes so much sense now. Ryan created a Cameo account the other day. Gypsy's mad because she can't have a Cameo account. So in addition, Indigo also said that Ryan releasing those text messages where Gypsy texted him about Amber J, that Gypsy releasing these messages is all like revenge, which we know Gypsy retaliates. And she probably is retaliating against the fact that Ryan has a Cameo account and Gypsy can't have one.
I had you texting me. I had him.
I'm not sure. Somebody said it was against the community guidelines because she's a convicted felon.
Be civil and be adults about this.
Thank you, Ariel.
The fact is, we need to have this test done. It's his lawyer and Ryan saying that the test that we already took was not good enough. They want a test post-birth.
It's an unfortunate situation, but we'll just have to get through it. We will. She told me everything, the threats he's making. So we're just going to handle this as quickly as we can. You can call me an ass if you want, but I'm not going to sit here and babysit the delusions of a man almost 10 years older than me. We're going to shut it down. We're going to move forward.
Oh, let me read this little part of the TMZ article. So it says TMZ reached out to Ryan in response to the screenshot we obtained, and he says he's not homophobic. He declined to further explain the text exchange. Meanwhile, sources close to Ryan say he thinks it's unfair Gypsy and Ken can call him a douchebag and a dick on their Lifetime show, Gypsy Rose Life After Lockup, but set out to destroy him when he bites back. The source adds, he feels this is another attempt to make him out as a bad guy, and he's not. Notably, the season finale of Gypsy Rose Life After Lockup aired Monday night and put into question the state of Gypsy and Ken's relationship when the mother of one expressed concern they lost their spark. However, the end of the episode shows things on the up and up. Gypsy confirms they're reigniting the flame, and Ken even goes shopping for an engagement ring. This comes as they work to get Ryan's name off of their child Aurora's birth certificate after confirming her paternity. Ken hints he'll pop the question when Gypsy is truly a free woman on her last day of parole, June 24th. Stay tuned. I don't think he's going to propose at all. Ryan just needs to move on.
My attorney's office.
She's not doing anything but trying to hurt him.
It's just where we go from here. Randy's a straight shooter. Randy will tell you straight up, and like I've left his office being like, okay, maybe that's how it actually is, you know. Because like I said last night, maybe I'm delusional, you know.
Alright, let's get this party started. Even though it just ended.
It's hard on me too, because it's like every time I feel like I get to a place that like I feel like we could be at a good place and maybe even like friendly towards each other.
See,
Like,
why is she trying to be friends with Ryan? You fucking cheated on him, got pregnant by another dude, and have done nothing but drag his name through the mud on the internet for the last year and a half. What the fuck makes you think he wants to be friends with you? Like, this shit pisses me off. She continues to talk about, oh, I'm just trying to be friendly with him. I'm just trying to be friendly with him. Stop. Stop. Leave him alone.
drama comes into the mix.
Unfortunate. Sometimes it just happens in life. It's not the first time it's happened to somebody, you know?
Hold on, y'all. I gotta show y'all this picture of my dog. Look. he was hugging my leg. You see that? He was hugging my leg. Isn't that cute? Come on, lay down.
EL Fudge Choco Vanilla Cookie.
Come on.
Anytime, any place.
Alexa, off.
Ooh, baby. Things people love.
Oh, what is that musty smell?
Oh, damn.
Damn. Oh,
Imagine an injury law firm that is committed to preventing accidents. A firm
Where's the echo coming
I'm sorry I
from?
didn't listen to you.
Okay, so right here she says, I'm sorry I didn't listen to you. And I wondered, what could she possibly be sorry she didn't listen to him about? And I'm thinking it was the pre-birth paternity test. She, like I said earlier, she thought that doing this test was going to, you know, kind of sweet talk Ryan into signing over his rights while they were at the hospital, so Ken's name could be on the birth certificate. But it didn't work, and I think that that's why she's apologizing. Like, I should have listened to you. We shouldn't have spent all that money on this paternity test just to turn right back around and have to do another one.
Sorry? I know you had good intention. It's a shame it couldn't be that way, though.
My good intentions always seem to backfire
Yes,
on me.
Raina.
Like, I try to approach situations with a kind heart and a level of understanding that, you know, maybe someone in a biased situation like you, for example,
Like anybody.
wouldn't understand.
It's just
and
develop.
I don't know, I just
When I
get
go to the doctor on
wrong
Thursday,
all
are
the
they gonna do
time.
like the whole thing, or are they just gonna assess?
They're just gonna assess.
So when would I go back from Boise Beach?
And we're all human. We mess up sometimes.
We can talk to them about
You
it
think
on
we should?
Thursday. Yeah.
But you've got a good heart, and it shows.
Hey, Toasty in here.
I think she pretends like she has a good heart.
Jeff, I know. You're right. Hey, Ryan. Randy. What's going on? Good to see you.
Damn, his attorneys are good looking.
So as you know, our state has that law where the child is born.
Oh, Jeff's good looking.
Divorce, you're still presumed to be the father. So the predicament now is that you have a birth certificate where the child has your last name.
Well, Randy's an old, good looking dude,
It may not
too.
be.
Randy's not so bad either.
Gypsy did get an in-utero test, which in my 20-year career, I've never had one in the case. Normally, the parties wait till the baby is born and do a post-birth DNA test. There's not much precedent for an in-utero test, knowing that Ryan was unfortunately or fortunately going to be as the father on the birth certificate. I think she was trying to thwart that process.
See?
But a law is a law, and you couldn't do that. The options you have are twofold.
That's what she was trying to do. She was trying to supersede the law by getting this paternity test done and kind of forcing Ryan's hand to sign over paternity. And it didn't work.
We can have a formal hearing.
Thank you,
in our first
Ariel.
parish, spend money on attorneys, drive to court, have a hearing.
Hey,
They're
Michelle.
gonna do a DNA test anyway, and then come back for a
Hey,
second
Mama
hearing
T.
to confirm the results. Or we can do what we've been discussing, which is the third-party acknowledgement. All you got to do is go take your test at Al's Medical. I would suggest doing it this week.
Okay.
Once we know those results, then you, Ken, and Gypsy will sign this affidavit. It'll go to the vital records in New Orleans, and ultimately, if Ken's the father, then they'll do an admitted birth certificate, and it'll correct
The name.
the name and the father, etc. And that's what's left on the paternity side of your case.
All right. That sounds fun.
And this whole time we avoided going to court, so hopefully we can keep that amicable resolution attitude going forward. So that's the plan.
Yeah, I understand.
She been in contact with you?
Yes.
You been in contact with her?
Yes.
Why?
Why?
He doesn't look like he likes that question.
You been in contact with her?
Yes.
Why?
We were trying to set up something for the paternity to, she wanted me to meet a baby.
She wanted me to meet her baby.
Yes,
Did you hear that? He said she wanted me to meet her baby. I want to see Ryan. I want to see those text messages from Gypsy. Stop being a fucking punk. Show us those text messages. Show us the text messages. What is he so afraid of that she's going to put out against him? Clearly, it cannot be anything worse than what Gypsy has already done, which is murder. Nothing you can do can be as bad as what Gypsy has already done, Ryan. Just get it out there. Just do it.
Like, we both kind of miss each other's friendship, but I mean, like, it's touch and go. It's weird. It's weird how it works. Like, I still care about her. She still cares about me. But
I agree with you, Indigo.
We haven't talked about getting back together or nothing like that.
But she wanted the drama. She wanted the drama of Ryan speculating that he could be the dad, Ken not knowing if he could be the dad or thinking that he was the dad. She wanted the speculation because she likes drama. in my personal opinion, if this had happened to me, which I would never have sex with somebody that was not my husband. Let me just first and foremost say that. I would never have sex with somebody that wasn't my husband. But if I did, if I made a mistake and got pregnant and had just left my husband, I probably wouldn't have told him. I probably would have let it be what it was and just waited until the baby was born to take the DNA test. I wouldn't have tried to make like this whole drama situation going on.
No, we flirted, but nothing like.
Yeah, she loves it. She loves feeling like she's wanted and desired.
No, it's not, and I know that. Like I'm working.
How many times I've told you?
You've told me so many times.
Hey, Sharon.
Like I already knew that you what you would think if I told you that. I know.
Okay.
I know you're right.
When I first met Brian, he was still hopeful that there would be a marriage. He was desperately in love, actually. So I was not surprised by his desire to see her and be friends still. And there's that mysterious love thing, connection, vibe that people have that draw them to each other. He had that toward her, and he's having to overcome that. But it was very powerful in the very beginning.
It's still pretty powerful.
I had my last name for a couple months. So yeah. Okay.
All right.
It's still pretty powerful. She still has a pretty good grip on her.
I need to bounce some ideas off you.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm writing a list of stuff that I'll be able to do off parole that I can't do now.
Right.
So this is what I've done so far.
Right.
I've been with you.
Oh, did you see his face? Let me skip back.
That I'll be able to do.
Pay attention to his face.
That I can't do now.
Right.
So this is what I've done.
I don't know why it keeps echoing.
Far. I've been with you.
Oh, that's annoying. Hold on.
Travel out of state for fun.
Yep.
Drink at a bar.
Sure.
Be free of harassment from people reporting me always.
Hold on. This was a list of things that she wanted to do. She says, let's go back to the beginning.
Okay, so I'm writing a list of stuff that I'll be able to do off parole.
Oh, that she'll be able to do.
Right.
So
Okay.
this is what I've done so far. I've been with you.
Did you see him roll his eyes? It was very slight, but he rolled his eyes.
For fun.
Yep.
Drink at a bar.
Sure.
Drink at a
Be
bar.
free of harassment from people reporting me always for dumb my PO.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to other prisoners about prison reform.
Perfect.
Go to Vegas.
Perfect.
Go to Hawaii.
Mm-hmm.
And go to Iceland.
Okay.
She wants to go to all these places with a baby. Does she not realize how difficult it is to actually travel with a baby? Or is she hoping that somebody's going to watch the baby while they go do all these things? And notice that she did. So the only one positive thing that she wrote on the list was talk to prisoners about prison reform. And I 100% think that that was just added in because she knew that they were filming. Because number one, you do not need to have communication with prisoners in order to advocate for prison reform. You do not need to communicate with any prisoner in order to advocate for prison reform. So this whole idea of her saying, oh, well, when I get off of parole, I can advocate for prison reform. Why do you need to get off of parole in order to advocate for prison reform when you don't need to communicate with prisoners in order to make change? You can make change through lawmaking, through, through the communities coming together. Like, there's a lot of different ways that you can enact change without having to communicate with felons. But everything else on the list was so superficial. Yes, travel, that's great. But the only other thing aside from move in with him and travel was to drink at a bar. That's literally what you want to do, is go drink at a bar. Like, that's the highlight reel. It just seems so immature. Am I just overthinking it? I just feel like it seems immature.
I like all those.
We were intimate for the first time in a long time last night.
No wonder she's got a smile on her face.
But it's like I'm still wanting to do everything I can to just make us the best version of ourselves we can be.
Breathe. We can all be a family finally under one roof permanently. That's the big one I'm looking forward to.
Okay, so I'm gonna star that one as the most liked.
That's the biggest one.
Just
as
when
the
I think
most
that,
liked.
you know, no one will stay because times get stressful. And I always had a
I heard that, V.
self-sabotaging. I'd always be like, push you away, push you away, push you away. Then the other piece comes into it. That's when your partner looks at you and is like, you are loved, you're worthy of this. And for someone to actually stay and fight through the pushing is extremely important. He doesn't have to stay, but he does.
What she's telling us right here is that she and Ken have a trauma bond together. That's what she's telling us.
My first driver's license.
Congratulations.
These episodes just feel like they're dragging on.
And like thought so highly of them. I'd see other people on the road driving. Just like, wow, like that's so.
We
cool.
always
So,
see
like,
Ken
cheering for
holding
him.
the baby.
You know, I just.
Like, we never see Gypsy holding the baby. It's always Ken. Or am I being unreasonable? And you can tell me if I'm being unreasonable, but it feels like every clip that Lifetime shows when Gypsy and Ken are together, Ken is the one that has the baby, not Gypsy. Is everyone else seeing the same thing I'm seeing, or am I being too harsh, too critical? I want to feel like I'm being fair to Gypsy. However I feel about her, I want to feel like I'm being impartial and not biased, but to me it feels like Ken is doing a lot more of the caretaking.
I always had like a fear that I couldn't do it. So it's not even so much proving my mom wrong, and it's just kind of proving my past wrong.
Better read line 6.
I wonder how she did on that eye exam.
Oh, let me see. I'll print it for you in just a moment.
Thank you.
Here it is. You're completing college license.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
I do still have a lot of restrictions.
Okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one that thinks
Especially
that.
being on parole, but
Look at her walk. Look at her walk. Look at her walk.
going where you want, when you want it.
All right. Personal driver's license. Look at you, official. Is that your picture?
Yeah.
Looks great. I love it. Congrats, man.
Thank you.
You want to hop on the driver's seat now?
Sure.
Thank you for your opinion on Dina.
I knew it.
You see, she said in one of the last clips that they had finally been intimate. They hadn't been intimate in a long time, and she is all fucking smiles today. Like, literally all smiles. Girl, if you need it that bad, grab your toothbrush.
Gypsy, want a coffee?
Yes. I think I might get the red velvet.
Like the red velvet?
Mm-hmm. Do you want to get Tennessee one?
Can I get a carrot cake square and whatever that Danish is, right? Perfect.
Oh, so cute.
Yeah. Well,
Right,
again,
new driver on the road.
that goes to the immature thinking. When you are young and in love, you think that the only way to connect with people is to have sex with them. You don't think about all the other things that go along with being in an actual relationship. It's not only about the intimate connection, it's about the emotional connection, your mental connection, your psychological connection, your emotional connection, your verbal connection. Like, you have to connect on other ways. And because she is mentally disabled, she doesn't think like a grown adult in her 30s. She's still thinking and acting like a 15-year-old that thinks that sex is going to solve everything and that having a baby is going to solve everything.
Sure. Are you scared?
A little bit.
It's okay. I'm gonna drive like I'm a mole.
Mm-hmm.
So what time do you work until today?
I know it's been a really busy couple of weeks with work and life stuff, but I love you. I'm happy that we got to spend this morning together.
I love you too.
And how you feeling? You okay?
Much better.
Good. You ready for tomorrow? We'll have a little morning Valentine's Day time and then I have to go to work. But Sunday, I've got plans.
He seems incredibly awkward during this situation, but it's almost like he's asking her if she feels better because he finally gave her some D, right? Has anyone ever heard of a lavender marriage? I had no idea what a lavender marriage was until the other day. But somebody told me what a lavender marriage was, and it's basically a one or both of the partners are homosexual, and they get into a heterosexual relationship, not to hide the fact that they're homosexual, but it's more for the benefits of being in a heterosexual relationship, while behind the scenes, they're actually able to, fulfill their other relationship status while they're in this heterosexual relationship. However, sometimes they do get intimate with one another. And it almost feels like that's what he was doing in this situation, trying to appease her a little bit by giving her some D so she'll calm the fuck down, but also still understanding that he needs to stay at a little bit of a distance emotionally, psychologically, all of those things, because he's not really connected to this relationship. She did say that she liked lavender. It was one of her favorite colors. So she could have been telling us something right there.
What did we used to do for Valentine's Day while I was in prison?
I can't remember. Send a card, have a phone call. That's about it.
So I was thinking we can do maybe like a board game or something, and then a movie, and then after that, I want a bubble bath. In the big tub, not my little tub.
Okay. I really didn't want anyone to know about that, but okay.
She is constantly just not giving a shit about his boundaries. Like, he has said on multiple occasions, don't talk about our sex life on TV. And she continues to disregard his wishes and talks about it. Even right here, he's like, I didn't really want that talked about. And yet she does it anyways. She does not care about what anybody else wants. It's always all about what she wants.
You haven't asked me.
Hey, Linda.
Asked you what?
If I'm going to be your Valentine.
Oh.
You didn't ask me.
Yeah, I heard that, Sapphire.
Oh, man.
No.
Oh, man.
Will you be my Valentine this year, Gypsy Rose?
Yes.
Okay.
Will you be my Valentine?
Absolutely. every day.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even catch that, Christine. Good job. Thank you.
I know you were. Are you
I said that. I've already spoken before. I'm Aurora's my aunt.
Oh, really? Well, that's the only girl I'll let you have as a Valentine.
Yeah, I doubt you'll even let him have her.
This is a surreal moment. I always wanted a baby with Gypsy, and it's one of these where, like, I never expected I'd ever have to do a paternity test.
I mean, he said himself before, like, I never questioned the paternity, but now all of a sudden he wants to come on chaos. Hey, little bitch.
Well, back in the day, before, back in the day, husbands and wives slept in separate beds. They would sleep, like, sometimes in the same bedroom on twin-sized beds. Or they would have, like, two smaller bedrooms with the husband in one room and the wife in the other. I don't think husbands and wives started sleeping in the same beds together until probably the 70s or 80s. It was, like, separate before then.
The way the baby was born is too close. Yeah, like, I have to be 100% sure before I sign over rights. I just have to be. Like, I would never forgive myself. You know, I've been kind of looking forward to this day and dreading it at the same time. But, like, I don't have any regrets, really. I don't. She might, but I don't. I followed my vows.
Yes, you did, Ryan.
This might be the last chapter. Close the book.
Oh, Sharon, thank you for the correction. Linda, I hope you get well. I hope you start to feel better so you can see her.
Years ago, Lululemon made a yoga type. They called it a line. And
so somebody said Gypsy's already pregnant again. That she was lying yet again about being on birth control, and she is pregnant again. Because she posted something the other day that said 2 under 2.
When I think about how I divide my time, it's very carefully. I'm Alex Diaz. I'm a professional.
Yeah, she says she has an IUD, but I don't know if that's truthful or not. Like, you know, Gypsy's a liar. And with her memory being so bad, she probably thought she set up an appointment to get an IUD and then forgot to go get it. I mean, it's probably, I mean, she never does anything that she says she's going to do. So, yep. You're absolutely right, Tina.
From the time that I went into prison to the time that I left, I had been preparing myself for something bigger. Thinking about motherhood, thinking about what it meant to be a good partner. It's always going to be a forever journey for me to learn who I am, and it's a journey of self-discovery that will go on for the rest of my life. Oh, what is this? This is a crawfish?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cute. I'm always like in the backyard, like chase butterflies and things like that when I was little.
How are you chasing butterflies when you were in a wheelchair? Were you wheeling around in the wheelchair to chase them?
Never seen one up close, like that close before.
I have a butterfly for you to release.
Oh,
very cool.
Excited.
Yeah.
You are going to let this butterfly go for its first flight. So hold the bottom nice and tight and lift the top nice and quick.
See, look at the way that he engages with her. I mean, he just looks so happy to be a dad. He's very attentive, very caring, like just very into his own child, like a father should be. You know, I remember looking at my ex-husband holding both of my children, and that was the look. That was the look that he had whenever he was holding his children. But I also had that same look, you know, just very happy to see the baby, to engage, give eye contact, show smiles, because that's how the baby starts to learn, like when you're happy and all of those things. Like you're supposed to smile at your baby so they learn. And it just doesn't seem like she's doing any of that. And I don't know if it's the way that they're editing it, but it just to me feels like her attention is, even when she's holding the baby, it's not really on the baby.
So let me take the top from the cap on the bottom. That doesn't work. If you put that in front of the butterfly's head and lift
That's a
it,
good point, Indigo.
It's going to fly away. And if it climbs on there, we'll get another thing. So, oh, there you go. There you go.
Here we see the butterfly. What does it mean?
Freedom, coming out into the world and getting to actually really be able to enjoy it.
Shut the fuck up. You're trying to tell me that all those pictures of Gypsy going to softball games, meeting celebrities, going to concerts, going to Disney, doing all these things, that she didn't have an enjoyable life? Man, fuck you. Yes, she did. She was smiling exactly how she is right there in every single fucking photo that you see of her. That is pure joy, pure happiness on her face. And those are the types of smiles that she has in absolutely every single one of her photos that we've seen. I've never seen a picture of Gypsy where she wasn't smiling ear to fucking ear, just like that. Tell us that she didn't enjoy life. Get the fuck out of here. She had a more enjoyable life than probably all of us.
Really been able to do. And it's going to get even better. She's finally on parole. We can actually travel.
Like, that shit just pisses me off.
Stuff, and she's been the best mother I could ever want for my child, and I'm super proud that I get to go on this journey with her, and that the three of us are experiencing life in an all-new way.
Hold on. I want to back it up really quick because I want to see her face.
Something that Gypsy's never really been able to do.
Whenever it pans back to Ken holding Aurora. Pay attention.
It's going to get even better in a few months when she's finally on parole. We can actually travel and go see more stuff. And she's been the best mother I could ever want for my child. And I'm super proud that I get to go on this journey with her. And
I couldn't tell if she was smiling.
We're experiencing life in an all-new way. It's been glorious. I mean, I love it. I love every minute of it. I'm the happiest I've ever been.
Okay, so Indigo, I wanted to ask you a question at the very end right there when you hear Ken talking about how absolutely happy and glorious everything is. You see him shaking his head no. So it's almost like he's shaking his head no, trying to tell us physically that he's unhappy while verbally telling us a different thing. I don't know a ton about body language, but I do know a few things. And that's one of the things that I picked up on is that the head shake. A lot of times, when something is yes, you're usually shaking your head yes. But he was shaking his head no.
We can actually travel and go see more stuff, and she's been the best mother I could ever want for my child, and I'm super proud that I get to go on this journey with her, and that the three of us are experiencing life in an all-new way. It's been glorious. I mean, I love it. I love every minute of it. I'm the happiest I've ever been.
Yeah, I think he's saying it just for the show. I think he really loves Aurora and doesn't want to leave Gypsy alone with her. That's what I think. Mama G, she's been milking that abuse claim for the last 10 years.
This is a surreal moment. I never expected this to ever
The
happen.
truth is going to come out.
I have to do a paternity test. And, when I got married, I never thought I'd have to do this. I always wanted a baby with Gypsy, and it's one of these where, this is a test to prove that I'm not the father of Gypsy's baby, so it's hard, but I've dealt with so much.
I thought he was being dishonest. Thank you for answering.
Icing on the cake, really.
Over what?
Tina, yes, the truth has come out. There's still a lot of people not listening, but more and more people are starting to listen. More and more people are starting to listen. More and more people are starting to pay attention. And that's why I think a third season will solidify everyone's opinion on Gypsy Rose as being the murderess that she is, the manipulator that she is. And I think that that will ultimately be her downfall. So in some ways, I'm looking forward to a third season happening for that reason. But for that reason only. I can't see it being interesting without this type of drama. Baby daddy drama, that's the only thing that really kept everyone engaged.
And that's what I'm going to do.
No matter how hard we try, we just can't give up on each other.
That's a trauma bond.
So I'm not really sure what to expect.
That's not something good, Gypsy. That's a trauma bond. See?
I posted the results from.
So Ryan's test came back probability 0. Okay, so everybody was saying, take a look at the pee and the poop. I've never seen a mom monitor that. I can't see what the other thing says. I'm going to try to rewind it. The other list that was up there. Yeah, I can't make it out. Under activities, can somebody make it out under activities? It looks like time. And I can't tell that last word.
I posted the results from.
Yeah, but supposedly she's the only one at the house taking care of the baby. A mother shouldn't need to document every pee and every poop. A mom should not need to do that.
Oh my God, who was the dad?
Who do you think?
What a shock.
I'm just happy that's over. Ryan did a couple of lives on TikTok, but he didn't mention anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
Any communication with Ryan about?
None whatsoever.
He hasn't said anything about it on his live.
He hasn't said anything about it.
So, Ryan being a petty little bitch is no longer standing in our way, huh?
I don't know, Ryan's a mixed bag of emotions. I do my best not to judge Ryan.
That's bullshit, Gypsy. You do judge Ryan.
There and still am there.
Raina, a lot of people were saying she has a nanny. However, a nanny is expensive. And I don't think that Gypsy would have a nanny. I don't think Ken would allow her to hire a nanny when she's only at his house for a certain amount of time. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't make sense for her to put that money into a nanny when she's only over at his house certain days of the week. And then she's at her dad's house where she has help over there. And a nanny is going to want something more full time. They're not going to want, 3 or 4 days out of the month to come over. They're like, and plus she was just complaining about not having money. Now, we all know that it's bullshit, but you can't complain about not having money and then also want us to believe that you have a nanny. It just doesn't make sense. Logically, it does not make sense. I understand that a lot of people, that's where their mind automatically went to when I made the comment and, questioned the lists everywhere and the charts everywhere and that sort of thing. But this is not screaming, these are for a nanny. That's what I think too, Sapphire. That Ken put them up because he knows that she's forgetful. She'll get on her phone and sit on her phone all day.
With healing, time will heal, but there's no measure of time to where it's like, okay, in 5 years.
That's what I think too, Memento.
I mean, he said himself before, like, I never questioned the paternity, but now all of a sudden he wants to just, like, cause all this drama and chaos.
So here Ken is saying that Ryan never questioned the paternity, and now all of a sudden he's trying to cause all this drama. He does not know that Gypsy's been behind the scenes sending him messages, trying to manipulate Ryan into believing that the baby was his. Ken doesn't know that. Gypsy's trying to act like she's done absolutely nothing wrong, but she is the primary reason why this entire situation is the way that it is. Without her creating chaos and drama, there would be no show.
It's all over now, and we're almost out of the woods. That's just my opinion. I mean,
I understand.
This whole second test was just for show, basically. I mean, we knew what it was going to be.
No, it wasn't for show because that's the law.
It's me, of course. He knew all along that he wasn't the father. He just purposely tried to drag her through the mud because it's just...
No, because the law is the law.
I am not going to say a word. I am Switzerland.
I'm Germany.
Did you get that reference, though?
Yeah.
He absolutely did not get it.
Well, in Twilight, Bella said, I'm Switzerland, because she didn't want to get in between Edward and Jacobs.
Yeah, I think that was it's a callback to like World War II, like Switzerland. Yeah, I don't remember.
And she had absolutely no idea what he was talking about. She's not educated. And I don't think that Ken really likes all the movie references. It's very shallow conversation. I think that he needs to be communicated with a little bit more, with a little bit more elevation than this shallow movie bullshit. But she's not educated. And so he can't have a conversation with her about World War II because here she is thinking about a stupid movie.
How hard we try, we just can't give up on each other. Whenever you have someone that you can look at and be like, I see us 20 years in the future, and we are old, and our hair is gone or gray, and I love you, and we're at a point where we can hold each other's hand and say, if we died today, we had a good life.
Why is she always talking about dying?
What do you say?
Mọi người đều có một loạt ý kiến.
So
sẵn sàng được đưa ra.
I think that Ken was obviously on some sort of high whenever, him and Gypsy first got together, and now everything is like coming into reality, he's starting to see that she isn't who she pretended to be. And like, I'm not going to turn my light on, but I'm going to keep the camera on me. He's beginning to see that things aren't what they should be. I know he feels stuck. I know he feels trapped. Now he has this baby. I think that he is highly concerned about the baby and is potentially trying to play into Gypsy's hand so that he's able to move behind the scenes without her understanding like what's actually going on. Do I think that he's going to get custody of Aurora? I have no idea. I don't. I don't know if he even wants that, because a lot of men are happy to throw their hands up and walk away and say, you deal with the baby on your own. You wanted it, you deal with it. You know what I mean? So it will be interesting to see if, what happens. Yeah. And that's what she kind of demands, Indigo. She kind of demands fiercely loyal people. And that goes to, I don't know if it was something that you were saying or if it's something that Lori was saying about how she demands loyalty and everything and how it's very reminiscent of a CULT. And I looked up like her behaviors and how she recruits her CULT members. And I haven't posted about it yet because this episode aired last night and I wanted to talk about the list, but I have a couple of other things that I want to talk about too. And I wanted to talk about the recruitment for the CULT members and how she recruits, what she's looking for. She's looking for insecure, vulnerable, weak-minded people who are happy to please. And yeah. Well, you guys, it's already 10:30. I've loved hanging out with you. This is the longest live I think I've ever done. It's been a little over 2 hours. I will be back on tomorrow so that we can get back to Gypsy Rose prison confessions. Because like I said, now that we know a lot of the things in her behavior that we've seen, I think it's important to go back and start watching all of the other documentaries to see where she might have given us information that we could have possibly overlooked or not understood at that time to be related to something else. So I like watching it with everyone else because sometimes you guys point things out to me that I don't see. And that's where we can kind of lean on one another to kind of be like, hey, did you catch this? Hey, did you catch that? You know what I mean? So I think that that's really helpful for us to come together as a group and kind of work together to expose all the twists and turns and the lies and everything. All right, you guys have a wonderful evening. I'll see you all tomorrow. Oh, I'm trying to turn the TV off. I'm trying to turn the TV off. Not the computer. Bye.